Okay, we reached our destination finally.
We made it.
We are safe, so thank you guys for all your comments. But essentially what happened is we were coming out of the ice facility and a gray SUV came out and flashed his lights at Costin and then passed us.
Honking their horn. But they passed us and we were going to turn, but then they started slowing down because they saw we were turning. They went past us, did a quick U-turn, came back, and that's when we decided to go straight. They ended up following us, so Costin.
So I took a right down one of the streets. I pulled into a parking lot with security cameras just in case. I didn't see the car. Did you guys see the car come past that point?
No, we didn't see it at that point, but what I'd seen as I looked back when we had gone straight, they had their blinker to make another U-turn, but I think we pulled out in front of where you did.
Okay, good. Because after that, when we pulled back out, we went back to the parking lot, sat there, and then we saw the car drive into the parking lot, and what did it just pulled in front of us, kind of just watched?
Yeah.
And then a couple minutes goes by and it left. And it's just like, come on.
Yeah.
So us three, we are usually quiet there. We're usually quiet. We do not antagonize. And this is the stuff that we have to worry about there. Even though we do not do anything. We don't antagonize. We don't provoke. We do not say harsh things.
Yeah, I think it's just it's interesting that like an hour previous the police had left the scene, and it's something we might begin to see more now that we know that National Guard is not going to be coming. And so, I mean, we're just out there as independent journalists trying to, show what's actually happening since the news fails to do so time and time again. And then I feel like things might begin escalating.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. No, we even saw today all the what is it, jaywalking tickets that were getting handed out. The week previous.
Done.
None.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that, we had a little break, but I think it's going to start picking up more. What we were saying with everybody who was here that weekend that the Patriots were winning,
Yeah. I actually have something too to add on to this. So you guys were there for that fight. There was like 2 different fights that were going on out front of the gates. And little after we left, I took a left kind of towards the parking lot we were going in. There's cops stationed behind the ice building in the Tesla parking lot, just sitting in their car. So there's brawls going on, just like, 100 yards away from them, and they're not responding to it. I saw people on their phone calling the police, and nothing was done about it at all.
Yeah, and this isn't like I guess a call against the police because we don't know like what the orders they're being given is to stand down, or like I know a lot of them have said they leave at 10 or 11 or when things seem to be calming down, but it's definitely there's safety issues that are going to continue to come up until this issue is resolved, and it just doesn't seem like there's an end in sight at this point.
I think Antifa is still gonna start targeting us, especially more because, I mean, look at everything that's happening. That's because the individual journalists, streamers, activists, we have all shed light on what's actually happening over here. We do not switch the story as leftist media has done or mainstream media has done. We do not switch the story. We post what exactly happens. And that's why we are the biggest targets there.
Raw, unedited footage.
It's live. Like,
you can't
cut live
90% of what we post is live streamed, and yet it still is an issue. But overall, like when people's safety, and there are so many journalists that have come before us that have been attacked, have been assaulted. And so I guess my fear is just like things like this. It seems dumb, or, maybe that it didn't lead to anything, so we shouldn't be worried. But I think our concern is just that it could lead to something, and obviously that'd be the last thing we want to see.
So here are my questions. What are the orders given to Portland PD now? Why are they issuing citations out now? How long is this going to go for? Is it just to get the National Guard off our back?
Well, now since they're not coming, like, who knows?
I think that's just
it's going to go back to how it was.
I think it's going to go back to how it was, and I think we're going to be left to defend ourselves. I don't think there's going to be an end until National Guard actually does come out.
I actually have, so I interviewed or I was talking to one of the cops, and this was before they were telling us to go call whoever, and they're like, to go get answers. And he was basically saying the reason they were enforcing the laws now were because all the brawls and fights. And so I mean, there's still fights, and I didn't see nothing happen tonight. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think it was just really a story to cover up the fact that it was because of the National Guard, not
100%.
like the threat of it at least.
So I think it's funny how many times Antifa and protesters can assault us.
Yeah.
But the second we start self-defending ourselves,
Then
police
there's
Yeah.
then there's the police. Oh no.
then there's the police.
Yeah.
So I think a few things to keep our eye on. Obviously, police presence, like the time they stay, the time they leave, because that's typically when we see things ramp up is as soon as they leave. And I understand like that it's limited in Portland. We already are understaffed with Portland police in Portland, but also are we going to see the camp start to be rebuilt? You know, in protests, usually like the winter months are when things start to calm down, but I feel like we might see like a Guinness Book of World Records protest happen in Portland because we're almost 4.5 months and this is still continuing. So where is the end in sight? I don't think we're gonna see it.
I don't actually think we're gonna see it either. I feel like Portland's gonna figure out a way to somehow do something with the ice building and get them out somehow.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna see it, but I think how many of us are stuck on the story. I think we're going to keep on posting about it. I think we're going to keep on showing it.
Yeah.
And I think we are going to get enough people involved in this that they're going to have to do something about it. Because we're not stopping. All of us are hard-headed. We're not stopping until it's made right.
Yeah, no, that brings me back to like when Chad and Nick Shirley and Nick Sorter and Cam were all down there. Stuff got done the second big names started showing up to these protests and then bringing light to it. So I want to see something like that happen again for sure.
Yeah, and shout out to all the people that have come, you know, and shed light on the story because like I said, news and media are just failing to do something. And I think a lot of people, even in Portland, like local based, we are from this area and, you know, people are living in the dark and we just want to see the community protected and obviously discussions had are good, but we want to see some type of end in sight and obviously the violence and assaults to stop. Like, I don't think that's a lot to ask.
And right now, there's not a lot of help for the community right now. I mean, I talked to an officer and the precinct officers have to go out on calls because they are limited to that road.
Yep.
They are tasked to that road.
Yeah.
And so the overdoses you're seeing on the street, the walk down one street, you see 5 fentanyl shooters on that street. You know, they have a neighborhood response team for that. But when have you ever seen a neighborhood response team out there helping the people overdosing, helping the people that are doing drugs on the street get help?
Well, defund the police is in full effect. So you get what you vote for, but there's so many of us that didn't vote for this, and so we hope to bring change and hope to see an end soon.